Hey, what is up guys? So yesterday the multiplayer reveal for Black Ops 4 was shown. So I figured I would do kind of a video recapping on some of the big changes made to the game, which there are a lot of big changes, and basically just my opinions on them so far after watching the trailers and watching a bunch of gameplay from different YouTubers who went to the event. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any recorded PC gameplay from any YouTubers. I know that they had PC there and people were able to play the game on PC at the event, but I could barely even find any information on those people who played it on PC on Twitter and everything, let alone any actual gameplay. Which sucks, but whatever, we still got a ton of information from the actual developers about the PC version. So right off the bat, probably the big thing that I saw and just instantly put me in a bad mood is that specialists are back in the game. If you were subscribed to me back in the BO3 days, you'll know I really didn't like specialists. And even though different YouTubers have said that they are nowhere near as overpowered in Black Ops 4 as they were in BO3, I still just wish they weren't in the game at all. But whatever, we're just gonna have to kind of deal with that. It's like all the same specialists from Black Ops 3. You know, you have the Seraph with I think she has the Annihilator, and then you have like the guy with the gravity spikes, the Purifier, all that stuff. But yeah, not a huge fan of that. Obviously, boots on the ground is back. There is no jetpacks or any kind of advanced movement. The only change is one that I was super hyped for right when I saw it, and that is that they added the sliding into the game, and it looks a lot like the sliding that was in BO3, which I really liked. And I think in my video a long time ago that I made about like the things that I want in this Call of Duty, I mentioned that, so I'm super happy that they added that. Overall, I think the movement in the game looks really good and the pacing looks really good. The next big change, and this is one of the changes where I just don't understand like why they really mess with it. Like I'll really have to play the game to see what made them want to change this, but the game no longer has automatic health regen. You actually have two options from what I've seen so far. One of them is you basically have like a stim where you have to manually press the button to heal yourself, and it heals you like super fast. And then the stim, I guess, cooldown is also like instantly, so you can just keep on using it over and over again really quickly. I seriously don't know why they changed this, but so far from other YouTubers and just watching gameplay, it doesn't seem as bad as you think it would be, which is good because right when I saw that I was super worried. But you also get another option where you basically get armor, kind of like almost like Juggernaut. So I think you get like 50% armor on your character, but once that armor is off, of course you don't have the stim, so you can't heal at all for that life. So I feel like that's going to be super underpowered and kind of useless in my opinion. I just feel like everybody's going to be using the stim to heal themselves. Also, now it'll probably be hard to tell from the trailers and gameplay. The game is now 5v5. It's not 6v6 like it always has been. Of course, this is another thing where I don't really understand why they changed it, but people were saying that they barely even noticed it was 5v5 and it really didn't change the pace of the game all that much. So I don't know, maybe that won't be as bad as I think it will be. I just like, hopefully it doesn't slow down the pace of the game. Maybe the maps are smaller to compensate for it being 5v5 now instead of 6v6. Who knows? Next, and probably the thing that I am the most worried about, and this is because it really has to do with me. A lot of people are saying that they've made this game very focused on team play. And if you watch my videos, I rarely play in a party. I pretty much only play solo. And that's always how I've liked to play Call of Duty. And that's why I've really stuck to Call of Duty and not played many other FPS games, because a lot of the other FPS games, you really do have to rely on your team. So when I get Drifter saying in videos that TDM was really boring and he didn't like it as much as the other, more team-focused game modes, it really worries me. Seems like they really tried to add so many like hero shooter aspects to the game, kind of like Overwatch and like Rainbow Six Siege, which I'm gonna be honest, it really turns me off. I really don't like hero shooters. I like Call of Duty, but now they're trying to make this very like a hero shooter. I just don't know. I don't know why they why they're making changes like that. But we'll just have to see how it plays out when the game actually comes out. And there's also a lot of smaller changes. It's not super small, but the pick 10 system is back, which is good. Wasn't a huge fan of like the division and basic training setup in World War II, so I'm happy the pick 10 is back. With the pick 10, you also get to use a special equipment that goes with your specialist, I guess, character, whoever you're using. So there's like tomahawks and trophy systems, stuff like that. I think one of the guys has the grappling hook, which a lot of people are worried about, but watching gameplay of it, it doesn't seem all that insane. Also, now a lot of the guns, like ARs and stuff, different ARs won't have the same attachments. So one AR can have like high caliber, but then another AR won't have, you won't be able to use that attachment. Same thing for like stock and quick draw. So really curious to see how that's gonna work. Also, now the guns, I guess, have, I forget how somebody explained it, basically like predictable recoil, kind of like CSGO has, where the recoil isn't just completely random. If you get good with controlling the recoil, you can actually get used to it and, you know, predict it basically, which I think is honestly really nice, especially being a PC player where it's going to be a lot easier to control recoil with a mouse. I feel like that's just another thing that can, I guess, raise the skill gap. And the last thing that I really wanted to talk about, just about the overall game, is there is of course now a battle royale mode. I think it's called Blackout. I'll probably play it a little bit, but like it's not like I was super excited for it. It seems pretty cool. There's like vehicles and stuff in it, kind of like PUBG. I think there was rumors that it's going to be 140 players, which is insane. But now what I really wanted to talk about, and unfortunately what I couldn't find a ton of information on, is the PC version of the game. So the big thing is the PC version of the game is not going to be on Steam this time around, which it like always has been. It's actually going to be on, I think it's called battle.net. So like where you can play Overwatch on PC, which honestly I think is really good because that has the potential of having a better anti-cheat, which the built-in anti-cheat for Steam, which is VAC, I believe, is really bad. So hopefully with it being on Battle.net, it being Treyarch, which Treyarch is usually really good about banning cheaters, hopefully the amount of cheaters will just be very, very tiny. Also, it was kind of expected, but there is pretty normal support for the PC version because it's Treyarch. You know, we have uncapped FPS, 4K support, ultra-wide support, dedicated servers, you know, all the usual stuff that you would get with a Treyarch Call of Duty on PC. But obviously that's not the main thing I'm worried about. The main thing I'm worried about is how the performance is. And what sucks is that the people who were able to play the PC version at the event, I think it was Tabes on Twitter, he played it, but he said that they had it capped at 60 frames per second on a 60 hertz panel, and it was on 4K. And I don't think he definitely couldn't change any of the settings, but I'm not even sure if he could look at any of the settings to see what it was set to. So of course his impression of it was probably really clunky, because I mean really you shouldn't be playing a first-person shooter on PC at 60 frames to begin with, but then he's playing on 60 hertz. He's playing at 4K, and I'm sure his settings were really, really high, so the game probably wasn't running all that great. Really can't tell how well the game's gonna run at all. I don't really have to worry about that because of course my system's pretty ridiculous, but I'm sure what I'm worried about is I really want everybody to be able to run the game really well on PC, kind of like Fortnite. Obviously it's probably not going to be anywhere near as well optimized as Fortnite, but how well the game is optimized and how well it runs is a huge factor of how popular the PC version is going to be. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but a completely different team is working on the PC version. It's not Raven, it's not Treyarch. They're called, to be honest, I can't even remember what their name is. It's a company I've never even heard of. But this gets me really excited because this might have the potential of having separate patches and nerfs for PC and console, which we haven't had and we really need, because there are things that are not very good on console, but on PC they are insanely OP. The best example I can think of is the P06 from Black Ops 3. That thing on console was still pretty good, but on PC it was like the best gun in the entire game. I mean, it just destroyed everything. So hopefully with this new dedicated PC team, stuff like that will change. So anyways guys, really want to hear what your guys' opinions are in the comments, especially you PC guys. Do you believe that what they're saying about focusing on the PC version, is it true? Or is it just like every other year where, you know, they kind of say the same thing, how they're really focusing on PC and whatnot? I honestly believe right now that it probably is different. With all these changes that they're making, have a completely different like company and group of people working on the PC version, it not being on Steam anymore, it being on Battle.net. I am actually hopeful for the PC version this year. And it helps that it's Treyarch, so you know it's not just going to be a complete mess like Infinity Ward is every year. But yeah, anyways guys, just let me know what your opinions are in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.